If it's advertising, marketing and brands that interest you, you are watching the right show. Welcome to All About Ads Prime, and it's our Goa Fest 2016 special. Was it any different from other years? For one thing, there were varied speakers from other industries. Filmmaker Karan Johar along with R. Balki, columnist and author Shobha De, former Sri Lankan cricketer and administrator and now politician Arjuna Ranatunga. And then, of course, advertising folks. Here's an overview by Sumita Kadil.
Glimpses of India's ad mecca Goa Fest 2016. The sun in Goa rose to a bigger, improved and a brighter genre-bending, clutter-defying Goa Fest, emerging stronger and better. Over 2,300 professionals, including speakers, agencies, brands and celebrities, got together to kick off the annual ad jamboree. Day one began with the industry conclave, which hit the same notes as most of the previous years have had. Conversations around improving the client-agency relationship in the age of clients flirting with multiple agencies dominated day one discussions, more like serving old wine in a brand new bottle.
Firstly, I think there's about trust and friendship, and really say how do we bring trust and friendship with the relationship to make it work. Second is sound processes. And then really it's not about ad hocism, but it's about strong rigorous processes around strategic alignment, around people management, around project management.
If you do not understand the business, then you will not be able to offer any sort of solution to business needs.
I want the agency to be the favorite person I pick up the phone from and the last person I want to stop talking to. You have the capacity, you have the youth within your organization to come up with these disruptive approaches. Leverage them, but have them thinking about our business.
Day two is when the real action started, from former Sri Lankan cricketer Arjuna Ranatunga giving sessions on marketing and leadership to former army man Raghu Raman asking advertisers to help change the Indian Army's image with storytelling and advertising. Goa Fest 2016 had diverse speakers, perhaps attempting to replicate the success of Cannes Lions. And of course, the session that had everyone in splits and awe was a freewheeling conversation between ad filmmaker, eluding Goa Fest for years now, R. Balki, and director-producer Karan Johar, who spoke passionately about why the current film marketing model needs to go bust.
This advertising and all this promotion, it started with perhaps one star doing it and everyone, mall visits. Somebody did it, everyone did it. You just follow what everyone else has done. No one has sat down and analyzed that maybe 80 or 90% of what we do when we promote a film actually is just not working. And maybe we should take those minds that you're talking about to help us do some market research. This entire bubble is going to burst.
Creatives like Benny Thomas of Crispin Porter and Boguski took cues from entrepreneurs to advise agencies on producing work that's useful in day-to-day life. Domino's, for instance, used creative technology to make itself available on all platforms and at all times. Or take a look at how American Express curated Small Business Saturday to aid small businesses.
In 2010, American Express founded Small Business Saturday, a day dedicated to helping small businesses get more customers through their doors on the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Shop small, baby. Way to go.
Indeed, driving home the point that customers can now spot marketing tactics, and hence agencies should be more about what they do than what they say. From creative work to number crunching, take a look at these statistics. 40% of internet users under the age of 30 use ad blockers. 56% of display ads may not even be seen by humans. Well, that's technology making it difficult for ads to survive and thrive, and with consumers leading charge against disruptive ads, Tara Marsh of Wonderment urged agencies to engage users via content instead of interruption. for brands, it's not just competitors who they should be, aware of, but it's publishers, it's media channels, it's, digital video providers who are actually competition to brands. And in fact, when you see a Facebook post about someone, partying last night vis-a-vis a brand, of course, more and more people are going to like the post instead of the, the ad. So where does it leave brands and traditional agencies?
The lines are blurring everywhere in this industry. And that's interesting. I mean, in one conversation, I'll work with a company as a competitor. In another, they're a partner. And in another, they might actually be my client. You have to navigate it carefully and draw lines around what everyone is doing.
Do you see a trend of agencies actually hiring behavioral scientists or psychologists as opposed to simple creatives, and in some cases engineers also, who might have good ideas and who are better at solving a problem?
Actually, first of all, we're hiring more people like you, for example. We're hiring people that have journalistic storytelling backgrounds. Data scientists, absolutely. Behavioral economics, we don't have so much of that yet, but it is growing.
The entire point of brands being concerned about sales. So where does that leave the content piece in the entire scenario of marketing?
This is $1 million question for the whole industry. As long as you have e-commerce, then you can actually see a direct link between someone clicking through on an article to actually buy something. If you are not able to do a transaction online, then we have to start looking at proxies for sales. Barney's is a very nice department store in New York, and they have a fantastic blog called Windows on the World. They have seen that people that read this blog, Windows on the World, I think their basket size at Barney's ends up being 2 times larger on the site.
Also stating the need for agencies to be prompt and staying ahead of the curve, just like startups, was FCB Ulka's Carter Murray, who stated that advertising needs to solve real-life problems just like startups to be relevant. For instance, this campaign by Nivea used dolls to increase the adoption of sunblock among kids. Murray also emphasized on pace while executing campaigns, something that is often neglected by traditional agencies. In fact, he stated that a 0.1% delay leads to 1% dip in sales for Amazon. Another interesting session replete with case studies was of Facebook. The brand showcased how advertising needs to be more than just ads to meaningfully drive sales. For instance, this campaign to encourage the adoption of dogs asked people to find a unique talent of a dog, which could then be used as a selling point by users. Did those examples just make you feel older and your work dated? Well, that was the sentiment expressed by industry veterans.
A lot of us work in advertising agencies. We are dead.
The fact that we would ever try and compete with agencies or media agencies is laughable. We are here to help you. We're here to educate you. We have no ambitions ever to become an advertising agency.
And one topic that remained elusive until, of course, writer and columnist Shobha Dey decided to address it was the need for gender neutrality in advertising, considering there are plenty of fathers in advertising, but barely mothers. Gender discrimination in advertising, it's the elephant in the room. It's always been there, but we are talking about it especially as JWT's global CEO Mr. Martinez was ousted from his position. Is this incident reflective of what's really happening in the advertising industry?
It's a culture which has been built over 5,000 years. It's a global phenomenon. I think all of us are trying in our little way to push the envelope.
Why has the advertising industry been evading this talk for long? I mean, you guys have been doing campaigns like the Power of 49. Are we being too tolerant?
If you want to get something done, it's possible to rebel. It's a movement that you need to do because it's a mindset change for not only us but the men folk too.
So Martin Sorrell also said that only 4% of women reach top management positions. We talk about advertising dads. Where are the advertising moms?
There are more John CEOs in the world than there are women as board of directors. Women should understand that we don't want to be clones of men. Frankly, sometimes it frustrates me to say that you push pressure on the women, say don't have the kid now. And we will make arrangements for you to have at the age of 40. So it just makes it difficult for the woman who just now wants to have the kid to turn around and say, no, but I want to have the kid at my age of 26 or 30 or whatever it is. I think we are fighting against a system which is, not good.
However, this doesn't mean Goa Fest was any less on the entertainment quotient. Overall, some old and some new lessons. The emphasis remained on using technology and creativity efficiently, remaining nimble like startups to give life-changing solutions that could perhaps also solve business problems. Even as the discussion regarding changing structures of agencies and their evolving relationship with clients amid specialists in the fray continues, the mainstay for them will be ideas, ideas and ideas, indigenous to India and those that can offer context and connect. Sumita Karir for NDTV.
The award winners and of course the award-winning agencies at Goa Fest 2016. That's coming up after this short break. Welcome back. You're watching All About Ads Prime and this is our Goa Fest 2016 special. And now it's over to the winners and award-winning agencies.
Showcasing how creative thinking can be borrowed from everything under the sun, the award ceremonies kicked off with high-octane performances by stand-up comedians, performers, musicians and singers. That, however, looked faded in presence of two creative wizards who, after years of boycotting Goa Fest, decided to lend support.
Be proud of yourselves. Be famous in the streets of Mumbai, Jaipur, Lucknow and Goa, and not just the streets of Cannes. Don't be in a situation where you have to go and explain your ad to your mom or to your neighbor. They should know it. Thank you all.
Pandey's emotional gesture upon being felicitated left the packed hall brimming with emotion and excitement. And now the winners. Media Abbeys were dominated by Mindshare with 17 medals. One of the goals went to this campaign for Lifebuoy in the integrated category.
People often forget washing their hands before eating, as they are abstaining from food and drinks throughout the day. This was a perfect opportunity for Lifebuoy, the world's #1 selling germ protection soap, to reinforce its message of washing hands before eating. Home to 40 million Muslims, Uttar Pradesh, and India's most populous state and Lifebuoy's most important market was chosen for this activity. However, during Ramadan, the biggest challenge for a media planner is that consumption of media for recreation is prohibited. Using non-recreational media, we designed a campaign focusing on when and where they broke their fast every day. With a simple message, Iftar time ke pehle Lifebuoy time. We partnered with the 4 largest Urdu newspapers and for the course of 30 days published daily iftar time along with Lifebuoy message. We sent video messages to over 3 lakh Muslim subscribers. Video messages were sent using MMS 2.0, which is a revolutionary technology that allows video messages to be sent to regular non-data enabled feature phones. This MMS was sent every Friday during the course of Ramzan, just 5 minutes before they broke their fast. We tied up with the most frequented eateries during Ramzan. Lifebuoy mobile hand washing canters were set up outside major mosques and eateries, making the campaign a huge success.
Followed by Maxis that bagged 7 medals, and the third spot was shared by Madison Media and Lodestar UM with 6 medals each. OMD won a gold too for Kinder Joy in the branded content category.
In developing a child's imagination, parents today find it difficult to spend enough time with their kids. Kinder Joy, a leading brand in kids' chocolate space, used this insight to bridge the gap. We created Kinder Joy Story Station, a unique storytelling platform on mobile that enables kids to listen to their favorite stories. Each story is of 5 minutes and can be chosen in 6 languages.
Hi, मैं हूँ Disney Princess Cinderella.
94% of listeners bought Kinder Joy and 75% said they would buy it often.
Now to the creative Abbeys. JWT led the medals tally for the 3rd year in a row, clinching 47 medals in all. The campaign for gender violence got gold in the newly introduced Young Abbey category.
Agency of the Year at Goa Fest for 3 years in a row is a good thing. Everybody is pushing for something which hasn't been done before.
JWT was followed by Dentsu Taproot with 40 medals. One of the gold-winning campaigns is this one for the Times of India in the direct category. And with 26 medals, contract advertising filled the third spot with a gold in the print single category. The coveted film single went to DDB Mudra for their campaign celebrating the iconic Beatles' 70-year-old legacy.
Balmy roads, surfing blokes and sweet sunshine. Think minds enchanted with odd design. Think lemon cruising through Route 69. Think grown-ups behaving like kids on sugar. Think fandom growing bigger and bigger. Think punch buggy, the superbug, the ladybug. Think iconic, a cultural mnemonic. Think forever in vogue, but that's not all, folks.
The jury also introduced a special category, Best in Category, which is a notch below Grand Prix but above gold. The award went to Publicis for their campaign featuring the great Kali.
हर एक स्वर्ग होता है, जैसे चाहे रो जियो, लेकिन मेरे साथ ऐसा नहीं था। जिस ताकत ने मेरे को दुनिया भर में मान सम्मान दिलाया, वही ताकत मेरी प्रॉब्लम बन गई। फिर एक दिन मौसी ने बताया, अंबुजा सीमेंट से घर बना लो। उसके बाद पता चला घर पे रहने का मजा।
The much publicized gender-sensitive category, which is like Glass Lion at Cannes Lions, instead of going to large agencies, went to a lesser-known agency, Hectic Content, for Myntra's Anoop campaign.
They loved it. Well done. It's a nice jacket. It almost hides your bump.
You have a problem with my bump, no? You've assigned Vivek to all my clients, and I believe he's also getting promoted over me.
Look, it's a management decision.
Right. Uma, I've worked nights on this project, and you're judging me by my pregnancy, not by my work. I think I can manage both. That's my new office.
Don't do this, Shaheen. You're the best we have.
Had.
However, that didn't stop people from talking in hushed tones about the number of golds awarded. Only 38 golds were awarded this year as against 71 golds in 2015. Moreover, no Grand Prix across categories.
Very few golds, which is a very sad thing, and no Grand Prix. So we as a country believe that we don't have a Grand Prix in the country. So I don't know how we're going to expect to win a Grand Prix anywhere else.
The gold which has been given, I don't think they are gold standard compared to what Abbey standards used to be 4-5 years back.
We are still not doing enough good work in some of the new media. The overall standard seem to be kind of low in many categories. Print, people are neglecting. A whole lot of our time is spent in doing film.
Well, when the top agencies refrain from entering their work, there's bound to be some quality loss. Often dubbed as the Festival of the Young for the Young, we asked the young guns who attended Goa Fest if they were indeed impressed by organizers.
What I find is the entire energy is just dipping, like the number of people, the kind of energy, it's not the same as what it used to be. I think it's most of the top agencies being missing, the participation is quite less.
In all honesty, I think it's sort of regressed in terms of work, quality of work, in terms of the way it's handled.
I think there is a great energy that I witnessed this year compared to last year. A lot of enthusiasm amongst youngsters, seniors.
It looks like any college fest to me. It doesn't look like an advertising fest. The creativity that we see in the advertisement is missing in the fest.
All the big agencies should be part of this festival.
I feel there is definitely a big scope to fix the seminars in terms of who the speakers are, because you need to get guys who can really inspire the way Cannes does. I want less crowd outside and more crowd inside.
Overall, minor misses but positive signs ahead for the festival, with agency participation increasing. Moreover, the terrific trio, who alienated themselves from the Abbeys in the past few years, decided to stand by the industry's original ad fest. The tunnel for Goa Fest surely seems lit at the end. Much will depend on consistent efforts in terms of cutting the frills and improving content, and just content.
Fireside chats, thought-provoking presentations and lots of fun. Well, that was Goa Fest 2016 for you. So what's left? Well, you got it right, so let's get you grooving to the Goan tunes. And next week, catch us on another special of Goa Fest 2016, where we'll give you exciting chats, interviews, views and news from the world of advertising on your favorite show, All About Ads. Goodbye and thank you very much for watching.